Hey, this is Dr. Ron with Going Vertical Coaching. Now, one of the things that I'm absolutely convinced of, that if you want to have a successful business, then you've really got to be working on who you are, and not just on who you are up here. You got to work on who you are, and I'm pointing down to my gut area, right? Because what we eat, how much we exercise, how we care for our bodies, in other words, how we steward what God has given us, makes a dramatic impact on our ability to earn an income. Now, I know that there are people that are in terrible shape, that don't take care of their bodies, they excessively drink, maybe they do drugs, they do all kinds of things, and they're making a lot of money. But that's not how it works on an average, right? So we have to look at not the anomalies, not the outliers, but we need to begin looking at the practical application of what it takes to really be the optimal you, because the optimal you creates the most optimal opportunity to have a robust business. So in my last video, I was talking about brain health, right? And the relationship between the gut and the brain. So I want to just continue down this path and educate you a little bit about how to have an optimized brain and some of the things that get in the way. Now, I started talking about the relationship between serotonin, this happy hormone, that's in our brain, right? It's a neurotransmitter, which just means it helps the nerves to communicate with each other, particularly in the deeper areas of the brain. Serotonin helps those centers that are related to our sense of feeling good and happiness. So I want to just continue down that path and remember that the gut produces 90% of the serotonin in the body. Now, the gut has so many more functions, but I want you to think about this. Healthy gut, healthy body, healthy brain. Now, what's going on in our diets today? What's all this talk about gluten? Well, gluten is a component that's inside many different foods, right? And particularly, we live in a very high grain-based culture. We eat a lot of wheat products, and there's a lot of gluten in these particular products. Now, gluten comes from many other sources and is found in a lot of different processed foods. But why is gluten such a bad word nowadays? Well, it's very simple. Your gut has to do a couple things. Number one, it has to digest food and absorb food, but it also has to protect your bloodstream from invading pathogens. And if the gut is not healthy, it could allow too many pathogens to cross the lining into the bloodstream and causing our immune system to go on overdrive, stressing our system out and taking precious resources away, and at the same time reducing our ability to manufacture and create these healthy hormones that are needed for brain function. So there's a direct correlation, because if we are eating a high grain-based diet, if we are eating a lot of gluten, we cause an inflammatory condition in the GI system. When inflammation occurs, we suppress or kill the healthy microorganisms that are responsible for so many vital functions of the body, including manufacturing of chemicals that the brain needs. And if we are inflaming the gut, we're also causing the gaps in the between each cell lining or the cell membrane. We have gaps that are formed. It's called Leaky Gut Syndrome, which means that now pathogens that are normally screened out and eliminated through the bowels are passing into the bloodstream, creating an excessive toxic load on the body. So now you begin to see that what you eat has a dramatic effect on your brain function. So here's some simple suggestions. Cut down on the amount of bread you eat. Reduce the amount of sugar intake. Now, sugar comes in all different sources, right? So here's a very simple formula. When you shop in a grocery store, shop around the periphery of the actual store. You'll see there's more healthy single item foods, fruits, vegetables, single, like things like eggs, right? Sources of high protein. And if you will begin to cook more meals at home, looking at fresh spices and how to create flavorful foods without adding sugar, without having the things that are unhealthy to you, you're going to begin to find you are going to stack the deck in your favor, optimizing your brain. Now, that's just one item, right? Cutting down on inflammatory foods like sugar and grains, like wheat, and increasing your level of exercise. Do those couple things, and I promise you, you are going to begin to shift everything into your direction. This is Dr. Ron, more on brain function, optimizing who you are up here so you can have a better business, coming up soon.